Nislo, the rooster, symbolizes those who carry responsibility quietly, without applause or recognition. Every morning, before the first light touched the sky, he fulfilled his role faithfully, believing that doing what was right was reason enough to continue. Yet his warning cry, meant to protect and awaken, was misunderstood as nothing more than an annoyance. Instead of gratitude, he faced insults, impatience, and rejection. Day after day, this quiet disrespect slowly drained his strength, not of body, but of spirit. Nislo did not leave in anger or bitterness. He left with dignity, understanding that staying where value is denied only erodes self-respect. When he disappeared, the farm lost more than a familiar sound. It lost its unseen guardian. Only after everything was taken did the farmers realize his importance. The story reveals a painful truth. Value ignored does not fade loudly. It disappears silently, often forever. After the farmers lost everything, one truth became impossible to ignore. Nislo did not leave to punish them. He left to preserve himself. His departure was not fueled by anger, revenge, or wounded pride, but by deep exhaustion and quiet self-respect. Nislo understood that repeatedly trying to prove his value in a place that refused to see it was a form of self-betrayal. His final crow was not a cry of protest, but a calm farewell to a life that no longer honored his purpose. The silence he left behind was not empty, it was full of meaning. It taught that remaining where effort is dismissed slowly erodes dignity and spirit. Sometimes, the bravest choice is not to endure longer, but to walk away peacefully. In doing so, one does not lose value, one finally chooses to protect it. Just as Nislo learned that dignity sometimes requires departure, Amara the turtle reveals another painful truth about giving without limits. Amara carries others not because he is weak, but because he is kind. For years, he bears Tico the frog across the violent river, never asking for praise or recognition. Yet, Tico never sees the effort behind the kindness. He treats Amara's strength as an obligation, not a gift, and never pauses to consider the cost. When the river changes and Amara is no longer needed, Tico leaves without gratitude or farewell. In that moment, Amara understands that his pain did not come from generosity itself, but from allowing it to be taken for granted. The story quietly shows how unacknowledged sacrifice slowly transforms kindness into exhaustion, and how giving without boundaries can become a burden heavier than any river current. After realizing that kindness without limits had drained him, Amara faced a choice: to harden his heart or to understand it. He did not chase Tico, nor did he demand gratitude or explanations. Instead, guided by the quiet wisdom of the old heron, Amara turned inward and forgave himself. This forgiveness was not meant to excuse Tico's behavior, but to release his own heart from the weight of resentment. Amara learned that forgiveness does not require continued sacrifice, nor does it mean allowing others to exploit kindness again. True forgiveness begins with awareness, with the courage to set boundaries and choose peace over bitterness. By letting go of anger, Amara reclaimed his strength and clarity. The story reminds us that forgiveness is not an agreement to return, but a personal decision to move forward, free from emotional chains. Once Amara learned to forgive himself and set boundaries, life began to unfold in a new way. When the rains returned and the river swelled again, the stones disappeared, and Tico once more stood at the edge of the rushing water. This time, there was no strong shell beneath his feet, no quiet figure waiting to carry him across. Amara was already far away, living with a lighter heart and a clearer mind. In that moment, a simple truth was revealed. Those who depend on others without gratitude eventually confront their own limits. This was not punishment, nor was it revenge. It was consequence. By putting the burden down, Amara allowed reality to speak for itself. Sometimes, stepping away is not an act of cruelty, but an act of honesty, one that forces growth where dependence once lived. Just as putting the burden down allows truth to surface, Continuing to wait where nothing is given slowly weakens the soul. Nico the stray cat embodies those who mistake patience for hope and endurance for love. Day after day, despite hunger and cold, he returns to the same empty bowl, believing that kindness will eventually appear if he waits long enough. The woman inside the house sees him clearly, yet never opens the door. Her silence is not confusion, but choice. Through the quiet words of another cat, Nico finally understands that waiting at a closed door is not loyalty, it is self-neglect. Remaining where love is absent drains life's strength and dignity. When Nico turns away, he does so without anger or bitterness. He leaves with clarity, choosing to seek warmth and belonging where they truly exist, rather than wasting his life on silent rejection. As Nico walks away from the closed door, the deeper meaning behind all three stories finally becomes clear. Forgiveness is not about returning to what hurt you, nor is it about continuing to sacrifice yourself in silence. It is about choosing freedom over resentment. In each story, the characters do not argue, accuse, or seek revenge. Nislo leaves the farm with dignity, Amara sets boundaries without bitterness, and Nico turns away without hatred. Their forgiveness is quiet but powerful. By stepping away, they release themselves from the weight of anger and unmet expectations. Silent forgiveness restores inner strength and clarity, allowing life to move forward without emotional chains. Those who learn to leave with self-respect do not truly lose anything. Instead, they reclaim their peace, their energy, and their sense of worth, moving ahead, lighter, wiser, and finally whole.